Right, all these apartments here in Kathleen Ave, there's a lot of apartments. You see there's no clothes on the lines here because nobody's living here. Or there's only a couple of people, you know, the apartments are empty like this. Well, they're not apartments, they're units. They're not that bad. They're quite livable. And the thing is, it's owned by BGC, and BGC was owned by Len Buckridge, but he passed away last year. And all these apartments used to be full when Len was alive, and Len didn't care, you know, just fill them up, get people in them, make money. But as you see, they're all empty, and this is great. You know, all these empty units here, and that's 3 stories high, as you can see, 3 stories high. We don't need flash accommodation. You know, staying in a place like this for the children to get them off the streets is a really good thing. So yeah, there's an old abandoned car there. So there's someone's car who's staying here, and there's another abandoned car here. So you can see all the empty apartments. Now those ones are the ones across the road there, the big white ones I showed in the previous video. And again, there's a few cars down there. There's not many here. So we have all these empty apartments down here, and according to Stuart from BGC, he says they're all empty. Right, so look here, there's no movement of anybody because all these ones are also empty, 3 stories high. Right, so empty apartments are everywhere, and you know, like even if they were $300 each, you know, you could put 5, there's an empty one there, see that? You can put, you know, 5 people in there off the street, or a family. Look, that's all empty up there. And look, there's all these ones down there, and there's several other blocks down here as well. Right, the back lot, the front lot. See, no clothes here because they're all empty, and they belong to the Buckridges. Right, but the Buckridges are rich, and Len Buckridge left his children with his empire. I think with that 10 billion or whatever. These are all empty. Right, as I'm walking along here, notice there's no one around. There's nobody living here. But Stuart from BGC said that he reckons they're unlivable, and he asked if we'd be prepared to refurbish them with our teams of Maoris that we'll be bringing in from New Zealand to, we need them to be housed, and that's what I had asked about, was to house 50 odd families for the workers to build these 25 10-story high buildings. And up at our concert venue, because we can easily raise the venture capital for it. So there's another lot of units you can see here as well. And according to Stuart, he says that they've only about 10% occupancy rate here. There's nobody here, right? So they got about 300 apartments here, and he reckons a lot of them are substandard, so they need repairs. And he asked me, well, you know, all these Maoris you're bringing in, they are tradespeople, right? And I said, yes, they are. I said, most of us Maoris have got 2 or 3 trades. A lot of them in the building trades have can do all sorts of things with buildings. So he asked me, well, is there a possibility that you could take the mass accommodation contract where, like, say all of these buildings here, the whole lot, we'd take the whole lot under our lease. But what he asked was, can we actually refurbish them for them to save them the 20 grand and labour costs for all the expertise. So you see down there, these are the front of them. Notice there's no furniture outside. They're empty. It's like a ghost town. But as I say, we can fill it, and the same with these ones. They're empty. So, as I say, if we can fill them, and the request that Passages gave me was just get them off the streets. Right? Passages is the first point of call for the children that become homeless. There's a lot of services around Perth for the homeless, but they favour the men over the women, so the women end up on the streets. But you see these, all these are empty. And that's what Stuart said. There's only 10% of all their buildings in Maylands, and these aren't all of them, there's hordes and hordes of the buildings they have, and blocks of apartments. So Stuart said, look, if you can refurbish them for us, we give you hordes of free lease. Right? So we don't have to pay any rent. Now if we don't have to pay any rent because we refurbish them and they just pay for the materials, and as I said, to minimise the materials, take 2 apartments, say those 2 there down the bottom, and I said, yeah, what we'd do with 2 apartments there, or units, is we'd rip them out, or the inside would gut it, put in a commercial kitchen and dining room facilities, right, that length there, and all of our people would dine there because we're Maoris, we're very social, and we're happy to all eat together, same with our Indigenous brothers here. So, and then here, those are all empty too. So what we'd do, everyone dines there, and then you just ring up, tell the chefs what time you rock it up for breakfast or lunch and dinner, and they have it ready, cooked for you. If you want bacon and eggs, I have it just on time, you arrive. The thing is that you don't have to do any cooking, you have to do any cleaning. It's like going on a holiday when you're in a hotel. You have to cook or clean, you just go down the restaurant. Well, what we're having is our own restaurant, right, where you don't have to pay for it, because all the food is supplied by the corporation, and it's paid in bulk, right, paid in bulk. And so, name of the game, get the children off the streets, was the request from Passages. And this is how we can do it, folks. Taking over these apartments, we can get them straight away into the apartments that we're not refurbishing, put the children in there off the streets, and get them down to Peninsula Primary School, the local primary school. Take them shopping, get them clothes, get them footwear, get them the books, laptops, anything they need for learning. We can do that with the money pool that comes in as people sponsor a child for $99. It pays for the $144 of subscriptions for 24-hour access to the Lifeline. The Lifeline is the website, our website. So what we're doing here can be duplicated all around the world, particularly the Wolseley charity operations, which I will show you in the next one of the next few videos will be about the Wolseley charity. So here you go, folks. Here's the solutions. We've got these wonderful apartments here. You know, Stuart said that they're substandard to live in, but look, it is better to live in a substandard apartment as long as you've got water and electricity or gas for heating, and it's very cold this time of year. So get them off the streets was the request I got from Passages, the first stop for homeless children. Here's the solution, folks. We can get them off the streets, and you saw the other one I showed you on Peninsula Avenue. with the big white buildings 4 stories high. These ones are 3 stories high. That's 55 buildings over there, units, and I don't know how many here, but I'd say there's quite a lot. But Stuart said there's about 300 apartments. 300 apartments, you know, if you had 5 people in 300 apartments, that's quite a lot of people that we can get straight off the street straight away and into safe housing. The children, particularly these little girls that are getting pack raped in these traps. So as I say, here are the solutions right in front of our noses, right here in Maylands and Kathleen Ave, just down the street from me, and Trevor lives over there in these ones, right? So Trevor's taking the concept to his particular church to encourage the people in this church to follow it, what we're doing, and that's good, you know. People who want to help our children, right? And here we say, there are the properties. We can do an agreement with them, mass accommodation agreement under our corporation. They don't have to apply for a lease agreement or rental agreement with a real estate agent who are just going to turn them down once they find out they're homeless and can't pay the rental. But if we're getting free rent, you know, for half a year for refurbishing these places, well then we don't have to charge them, do we? No. Our money pool will pay for their food, will pay for their bedding. We can deck these places out. We can go to IKEA and say, IKEA, we're going to promote you, man. You just give all the furniture, and you know, the promotion that you'll get on a global scale from doing this good deed by putting all these units here with your furniture, man, that's going to do good for your business. You will make far more money as the whole global community comes in behind you. So IKEA, I believe, will back this, or we just go to IKEA's competition. So we need the places furnished. You know, a lot of corporations that have products that they want to have marketed could provide those products right throughout all these apartments, and we'll plug them on our website, and they will make far more business if their logo is on our website. So, you know, this is the name of the game. We can bring in the right people and organisations, fill these apartments, refurbish these apartments, all under our lease of our corporation, and we've got them off the streets. And that was the only request, because I said, "Why do you need bedding, clothing, anything else?" No, just get them off the streets. And passengers know, they know the requirements, the needs of the children, and so do we, because last week one died on the streets in Armidale outside the library because he froze to death. And this is a very sad situation. All the stories are going to start coming in now, because we're going to do a shout out on Noongar Radio about this. People will come to the website, watch this video that I got here, and they'll follow the stories, and there's stories upon stories all linked to what we're doing. But as I say, these children are in crisis here, but that crisis is not just to Perth, that crisis is all around the world in the major cities. Homelessness is a serious problem, but if we show the way to do it here, that the corporations benefit, like IKEA will benefit big time if they furnish all these units. If it's under a corporation, the corporation, it will soften the face of the corporation, particularly if you own big units like this. It's under a corporate lease, you know, and it's a lot easier under a corporate lease. If they're troublemakers under a corporate lease, we can just remove them the next day. But if they're under a private lease, you've got to take them to court. You just can't kick them out. But we can, because it's our lease. So they're not going to play around. There's less chance of them playing around, knowing that we have that ability to do that. But we have a vetting process to make sure that they're not into drugs and problematic, that they are actually going to look after their children. And you know, if these are all Maoris in here and we put some of our Indigenous families in there, our Maoris going to look after them because we love them. So that's how it works, folks, you know. And as I say, there's a problem we had the solutions, and here's one of the solutions. I'll put the copy of the document that I gave to BGC, and I'll keep you updated with the negotiations. Stuart's taken it to the family that own BGC. They tried to sell all these products, all these units here, the whole lot of their apartments around Maylands. There's about 300, but no one wants to buy them. I think that was the way it's supposed to be, so they could be left for our homeless children, and that's wonderful. There's the buildings that we can put them in. So BGC is on a winner. If we have a corporate contract with them, the apartments will be full, they'll be refurbished, the value of the apartments will go up because we'll refurbish them, and there'll be lots of nice people in there, and lots of beautiful stories where we've taken the children off the streets, putting them into the Peninsula Primary School, and with clothing and computers, laptops, and all the things that people would donate to them too, because people like to back the underdogs, and they're the underdogs at the moment, particularly these little girls that are getting raped under the age of 12. And as I say, there are 9,000 homeless in Perth, 3,500 are children under 18, 2,600 are children under 12, and a lot of them are Indigenous, and they've been subjected to drugs, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and these pack rapes, and it's got to stop. So there we are, folks. I hope you like what we see here. It will give our homeless children hope. So if they come to our Indigenous Peoples Learning Network, ipln.net, the website's still being restructured with very powerful digital infrastructure to drive these sorts of projects. So, but the subscription systems are running, which means the children can get access to everything that we have, which is all the support organisations coming in behind them to look after them once we get them on the website. So there you go, folks. I hope you like it. Have a nice day.